Hi guys. In this video we are going to review solving equations. The notebook pages where we learned this are above this video, and also above this video it says use your whiteboard to solve your equations. So if you're not going to solve them out on a piece of scratch paper, make sure that you have your whiteboard and your dry erase marker ready, because you're going to need to be able to write things down in order to solve. Okay, so I am assuming that you're watching this because you looked at your notebook pages and felt like you needed a little bit of guidance. As usual, you make sure that you remember that you can speed up these videos, slow them down, rewind, skip. That's the good thing about putting them in YouTube. So make use of these videos as you see fit. So I have here what we call a two-step equation. And the point of this equation, or what we're supposed to do, is solve this equation. So lots of the time when we talk about equations, we're talking about how we want to know what x is. We don't want all of this stuff around x. We just want to know what is x. So instead of looking like this, we want to be able to say that x, in this case, I believe it's 3.5. So what we're doing in this quiz is reviewing how do we go from this equation to knowing what x actually is to make this statement true. So below I have this highlighted. What that means is that we have to get rid of this 7 and the 4. Now when we learned this, we talked about how the 7 is the friend. The 7 is the friend. He's X's, or their X's friend. And the 4 is the girlfriend. And we know that the 4 is the girlfriend because these two things are touching. There is nothing between X and the girlfriend. They're like together in the same term. And then this one, he's separated from the X, so that means he's the friend. In order to get these away, we get rid of the friend first. So that's why I like to teach you guys that one is the friend, one is the girlfriend, because then it helps me remember we always get rid of the friend first. To do that, it might be helpful for you to be really clear about the fact that this 4x, 4 and the girlfriend, is 4 times x. Now the reason why I'm making that really clear is because when we go to solve this, we want to get this 7 from off of this side, and to do that we have to like move it over to this side. But to move it, you have to do the opposite of what you see. So if you see a plus here, what you need to turn it into here is a minus. So 21 minus 7 ends up being 14. And then we want to get this 4 off, but what we have here is 4 times x, so the opposite of that would be divide. So if we're multiplying by 4, to get rid of it, we divide by 4. 14 divided by 4 is 3.5, so our solution to this equation is 3.5. Now the way that I'm doing it here is different than how we solved it in your notebooks. The notebooks show you step for step exactly how you solve it and why it looks like we're moving the numbers over. So in this video I'm using the shortcut because maybe if the notes aren't triggering anything for you, this might be an easier way for you to do it. So now that we solved one of those, let's look at one of your actual quiz questions. So maybe let's do one that's slightly more challenging. Let's do A. So negative 3x plus 6 equals 18. So we need to get rid of the friend, which is 6, and the girlfriend, which is negative 3. The girlfriend is negative 3. It's like the difference between somebody being named Carrie and somebody being named Cara. Like you could think about 3 as Carrie and negative 3 as Cara. They're two different things. They look similar, They sound similar, but they are different people. They are different things. So we have to make sure here we know that this is -3. This is a girlfriend. This isn't -3. So we get rid of the friend first. In order to do that, we do the opposite of what we see. This is a plus, so we're going to do a minus. 18 minus 6 is 12. Then, once again, we have a multiply. So if we're multiplying here, that means we're going to divide here by -3. It is super important that you guys keep track of your negative symbols. So this means that x is equal to -4. If you plug that into your calculator, 12 divided by -3 is -4. So you would just come back to this quiz right here and you would enter in -4 for your answer for question 2. Now we haven't really talked about one that has a girlfriend that's underneath. So maybe let's look at this very last one together. This is x over -3 equals -1. So maybe you notice if I scroll up on this quiz, on question 4 and 5, these are called one-step equations because here all you have is a friend. So all you have to do is get rid of that friend. Here you have a girlfriend, so your job is just to get rid of the girlfriend. Up here, you have to get rid of one of each. Here, you have to get rid of this friend and then get rid of the girlfriend. But on these problems down below, each one on 4 and 5 only has a friend or only has a girlfriend. So in this case, we have a girlfriend. They are in the same term together. This is really x divided by -3. Remember when I told you guys that if we like scribble out the x and the -3, what we're literally looking at is a divide symbol. So that means this girlfriend is a divide problem. So if we want to get rid of the girlfriend in this case, we're going to move her to the other side. She's -3. Remember, that's very important that you keep track of the fact that she is a negative. But instead of doing a divide, which is what the fraction is, we do a multiply. So what you would plug into your calculator is -1 times -3. And that is going to go in this answer right here. So just to make sure that we feel okay, on this particular problem, you have a friend, a +9, and a girlfriend of 8. To solve this one, you would subtract over the 9, and then you would multiply by 8. Remember, these have one of each, a friend and a girlfriend. Then once you get to the bottom, you end up having just a friend or just a girlfriend, so you only have to do one thing. The one other thing that I would like to note here is maybe looking at question 3, 5x plus 7 equals -8. So when you bring this over, when you bring your friend over, you're bringing 7 over, but you have to do the opposite of what you see here. So this would end up being a minus. So you either need to think about this in your head as a -8 combined with a -7, or you plug it in literally as -8 minus 7. So this would be your negative button below the 3, and then this is your minus button next to the 9. So if that's confusing you and you need help, just raise your hand and I'd be happy to come over and help you. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all you need to, well, that's the basics of solving equations. So remember, friend first, then girlfriend, do the opposite of what you see, and then sometimes you only have one. You only have a friend or a girlfriend. Okay, that's it. Love you guys.